Yeah.
Got it already?
You forget to have a time I have a spy there.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians and guests. Okay, there you go. Thank you, Ed. I was looking for a response there. Thank you. Thank you, Don. Welcome to the Jonesboro Rotary meeting. We're going to have Mr. Patrick Kelly return thanks with an invocation. Patrick?
Thank you. You bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to come together today for fellowship, for updates, and for us to serve. Because that's what we're here to do, not only to serve our community, but each other and you as well. Thank you for the enjoyment of being here today, and thank you for the enjoyment of beautiful weather outside. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Patrick. I'm starting the meeting a little bit early, and as I sometimes tell you when I stand in front of you, I'm not Morris McClellan. I'm John Ramsberger. Yeah, that's right, Jim. Morris, our president, was out of town again, and he asked for a sub. But Terry McMillan had done 2 short videos for us, as he normally does, and I wanted to play that to start our meeting.
Why haven't you joined the Rotary Club yet?
Because I'm involved in too many other activities and I really don't have the time to be there every week.
But that's not really a good excuse, is it?
Yes, it is. Good enough for you, huh? Yeah, here's another one. Come on over. Come on over.
2 fried eggs and salsa and spinach and cheese. What am I going to have for lunch? I'm going to have the big salad for lunch. Just like at Rotary, yep. The big salad. No chicken. No chicken. Okay, ready? Okay, hi. My name is Neil Jensen, and I want to tell you why I joined Rotary. I had a fairly long career in the Army and as a defense contractor with Boeing, and I never had the opportunity to really do a lot of outside stuff other than helping my kids in sports and things like that. So when I retired, I wanted to do something that gave back to the community. And my neighbor down here, Ashley Hinman, came around the first week that we were here and asked if I would be interested in Rotary. And I said, well, sure I would. And so I went with Ashley to a Rotary Club meeting, and I found out what Rotary is all about. Rotary is about service above self, and I thought that's kind of a neat thing. I have enjoyed Rotary so much for the last 12 years, and giving back to the community, giving back to our community, giving back to the world community. It's really been an amazing thing. And I'd like anybody else that would be interested in helping and giving back to also come and join. And I'd like you to meet one of our newer members here, a corporate member, Ray Reyes from the Carolina Trace Country Club. And he's the head professional out here at Carolina Trace. And like I said, a new member for our Rotary Club. So Ray, what was one of the reasons why that you joined Rotary?
Well, I would say the main reason I joined a Rotary is because my parents joined a private country club when I was 6 years old, and I've been at a golf course all my life. And I've worked with families, I've worked with youth programs, and I've been involved with that, just every aspect. And to be able to give and be part of an organization where I'm able to give a little bit more back to those organizations, back to families, back to youth programs, and be a part of those things just has been a passion my whole life. And when I came to Carolina Trace, I met a lot of members, people within the community that are involved in the Rotary, and I couldn't be happier to be a part of our Rotary.
Outstanding, outstanding. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And thank you all. And our Rotary meeting is on Thursdays at noon at the Flame Restaurant in Sanford, North Carolina. Please come out and see what we're all about. You can come out and have a free lunch one time, and then we'll sign you up and join you into Rotary. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Here we are once again with bag in hand at the Christian United Outreach Center, participating in a backpack project, loading these up for, I guess CUOC will be distributing those, but it's something we do about every third Thursday or once a month for our Rotary project. And as you can see, pretty simple process, but you got to be able to read and say how many you put in each one. But we're glad to do that. As I say, it's part of our effort called RUSH, Rotarians United to Stop Hunger. And but today we're thinking about and just saying one more final farewell to Mr. Bud Marchant. He did such a great job for our community, and we'll miss him. But as he retires and heads to South Carolina to be a farm boy, we wish him the best, and we could use his hands today on a couple more bags, loading them up for Backpack Pals. So thanks again, Bud, for all you've done for our area. And now, back to the circle.
How can you beat that, Terry? How can you beat that? This Bud's for you. I like that. Hey, Bud, I got a bag too for you.
I don't know, Bud, but I got a bag too. Good morning.
Hey, Bud, have a great time in retirement. We miss you. We're going to miss you a lot while you're gone. And we certainly appreciate everything you've done, both for Rotary, for the community, and the community college. And just have a great time in retirement. Thank you.
Hey, Dr. Bud, everything I do, everything I put in this bag, because this Bud is for you.
I don't know you, but I'm sure you're a great guy, and have a good day.
Same thing.
Dr. Bud, as you're finding out, retirement is not overrated. Have a great time. We'll miss you.
Have a good time in South Carolina.
Dr. Bud, I need to meet you.
Very nice, very nice. All right, we'll get
Neil,
some
has
lights
Bud
for us.
already joined in South Carolina?
Well,
John
we had a
sent me-
request for a letter of good standing. I know Neil's got his mouthful, so I'm trying to help you. But we got a request from Clinton Rotary in Clinton, South Carolina, to have a letter of good standing sent over there, which Neil had forwarded promptly. So it looks like he's getting lined up with a club right
Are we
away.
sending all the videos?
You know, I don't know if we are. I don't know if they're going to get all the embarrassing videos that we're sending him and all the showering of compliments that we're putting on him and all that. Another thing we're doing, really, before we start the meeting is, our own Patrick Kelly had attended something at WB Wicker this morning, and we're jumping ahead of the brags a little bit, but Patrick, did you want to say something about what you attended this morning?
I wanted to brag about how well W. Wicker's come along. What you can't really tell from this picture, that is the old auditorium. We installed the new glass, the antique windows last week.
Oh, wow.
So it may look like there's nothing there, but that is actually brand new glass. So there's another picture that shows it better. But that is we kept the same windows where they still were open and closed. So that is the new glass outside the auditorium.
Wow.
Very nice. What's that going to be?
What? That's the auditorium behind it. So that is the
auditorium.
It's the auditorium, and it is it's the original auditorium for the school. This is behind W. Wicker. We used the original framework and just put brand new glass in it. So they're still open and closed as they did back in the day, and there'll be curtains that will come across so that natural light doesn't come in.
When is it scheduled to open, the school?
If I need a piece of wood, I can.
By September or by August?
By the first day of school.
Yeah, by the first day of school.
We will have, now, that being said, you skip one picture, Ted, if you don't mind. This building here is our,
Yeah, that one.
this is our wing, our new building wing. The original W. Wicker School will be finished first,
Uh-huh.
followed by the gymnasium and the cafeteria, and then this building will be third. So the auditorium may be the last thing, which may not be completed before school opens up, but our central required necessities will be open.
Of course.
So this is the brick work going on outside the second building.
And thank you for the time that you have put into being a Lee County School Board member, Patrick. You are the chair of the Lee County School Board. Thank you for what you do for our community is what I'm trying to say.
But I want to, so I'll pay up, but I wanted to brag about that and actually show you pictures. And
Absolutely. Thank you, Patrick. All right, if you could get the light behind you there. Thank you, Terry, for helping. Let me get on with Jeremy.
Yep.
If you'll do our Sergeant at Arms duties today, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Rotary. Pleased to have Karen Kennedy with us today, City of Sanford. She's going to be doing our program and talking about the Sanford Block Party. So, welcome, Karen.
Thank you.
Do we have any announcements or brags today?
Go ahead.
Well, I just want to remind people, I have Charity Day tickets for $5 each. May 4th, it's all day long, and you get the $5 back when you go buy something.
Belt Charity Days.
Milk Charity Day. And
The
all that-
$5 that we contribute comes back to the club, 100% of it. You get a voucher for $5 to go in and spend monies at Belts, which you'll get a $5 discount instantly. But those $5 are returned all the way to our club. Thank you for doing that every year.
Thank you. Yvonne?
Okay, I'm loaded down with announcements today. First thing, a sign-up sheet for the production grease in the balcony on May 10th. It is important that you get your seats
all day
now.
long.
Yep.
Sign up and let me know how many in your party is coming, and then at the same time, I'll know how much to cook for you, okay? So, you'll take that around. Next thing is, I went to the Herald and talked with the editor there and asked her to do me a favor, and she did. She did a whole article on the Temple Golf Tournament that's coming up. The community needs to know that the temple is very important in this town, in this county, and this state, as far as that goes. Because Peggy will tell you, 61 counties in the state.
63.
Now 63. 63 counties come to see the productions here. That's how good and the quality is. So, the next thing is Temple, the golf tournament coming up. If you're a golfer, if you're not a good golfer, find a good golfer and team up with them. The importance is to go to the and participate in the tournament. Now, if you don't play golf, then there's opportunities for you to be a sponsor. So a sponsor of anything that's going on there, whether it's a tea sponsorship, it could be a raffle sponsorship, it could be a lunch sponsorship, it could be a game, it could be whatever. But the opportunity that you have to help the temple with your donations in any way that you want to. Then I have raffle tickets, and the raffle tickets are very good this year. Top prize is several days at the Grove Park Inn in Asheville, $2,000 package. Second prize, number 2 at Pinehurst, number 3 is number 4 at Pinehurst. All of those are great gifts if you win, but you have to participate in order to find out if you're going to be the winner. Okay, I have a lot of people that is interested in that, and they're all wanting me to pull strings. I can't do that. Okay, so anyhow.
If you buy a raffle ticket from me, I can pull some.
And then the next thing is, if you like the music, and I know you will, there's the cabaret that Peggy has started this year, and so Cabaret for Greece is coming up, and you see on May 4th at 9:45 p.m. after the production, and you can sit in there free of charge and watch the singers come on stage, and they'll sing you some songs, okay? That's a good deal too, free. Okay? I don't think there's anything else that I can do for you right now, but.
Thank you for coming. Have a good day. We'll see you. Yvonne, I'm picking on you. Hey, how about the dessert that Yvonne brought?
Chadburg, go ahead.
All right, I just want to let you know they're having wings for the first time at the Camelback tonight.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go taste a tasty beer and wings. And Saturday, of course, is the Street Fest downtown.
That's right.
Absolutely amazing last year. Great.
Who was the headliner this year?
Your mama's big fat booty band.
Oh, your mama's big fat booty band.
They're a punk band out of Asheville. Seen them play a few times. They're freaking awesome. So check it out.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Chad.
Miss Peggy.
Thank you, Yvonne. Your check's in the mail. There are two other things, and I feel like a traitor for both of these other things, but it is what it is. This Sunday, as we're all recovering from Street Fest, come to Hugger Mugger because we're doing a Game of Thrones release party.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be axe throwing. There's a kids' corner. We have, and I can't wait to see this myself, a Celtic pirate providing the music. There will be trivia, there will be yoga back in the brewing area, so I'm calling it not hot yoga, but moist yoga. If you leave smelling like hot, you would love it. You leave smelling like beer, come on. It's all day Sunday from about 11 a.m. till 7. It's going to be fun. And then we are doing a murder mystery in conjunction with the other Rotary. It was supposed to be a Boys and Girls Club day, so they just roped me in. But it's going to be wonderful. There are limited tickets left. It's going to be a lot of fun at the Elks Club on April 30th. That's a Tuesday night. The Rotarians are providing the Italian family-style dinner. We're providing the murder mystery, and a good time will be had by all. And the Rotary and the Temple are going to split the proceeds. So you're helping out another club. So if you need a flyer information, just see me. Thank you.
Thank you, Peggy.
Any others? Patrick, you want to corner?
Oh, I've already bragged a little bit about one thing. So I sound tired. I took 40 college students yesterday morning. We left about 5:30 a.m. and we went to a conference. And these 40 college students were competed against other community colleges in the state in their programs. So we took culinary arts, welding, networking, machining, and motorcycles. Of that group, I had 3 first place winners.
Wow.
So we won first place, and I've got all of their awards right here stacked up, and all their medals. So I figured it'd come better to show this, but we had first place in motorcycles and second place in motorcycles.
Yeah.
For networking, we had first, second, and third, and then for welding, we had first and fourth. Then our culinary placed third, our CAD placed second, and I think that's all of them that won. So now the 3 first place winners, we're going to compete in Louisville, Kentucky against the other 49 other first place winners in the country. And then from there, we go to Russia to compete the Worlds.
Wow.
So this was, we got back last night about midnight, and it's called Skills USA, which the national president is located here in Sanford.
Yeah, actually. Lee County High School.
Because Lee County High School, which would be a good program if we've not done it already, to bring him in. But I just wanted to brag about how well our students did yesterday. These kids deserve it, and we're now planning for our next trip to Louisville and getting their skills ready to go. So Bud Marchant, Dr. Bud was one of the ones that pushed us to do this and pushed me to take this on. So just want to brag about our kids, how well we did yesterday.
All right, John. Bragging bucks. That was it?
Well, I kind of did them together. Brags are free today.
I didn't see you collecting money, so that's a brag. Thank you, Jeremy. So, if anyone after this meeting says there ain't nothing to do in Sanford, shame on you. No, I'm kidding. Kate had a hand up.
I have a bragging buck. This week, Brick Capital signed its first contract to build a single-family home.
Oh, good.
In St. James Way.
Yep.
For a family who is of 80% and below median, which means that
right off of Cemetery Road.
They work for the school department.
Yep. Congratulations. Building again. All right. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Kate. Another program note. May 1st, which is a Wednesday at 2 p.m., we're going to be loving on Miss Yvonne Bullard. Can you tell there's pollen out here? I'm getting choked up because I'm talking about Yvonne. No, it's not true. I'm getting choked up because of the pollen. But the Governor's Award for Outstanding Volunteerism will be bestowed upon Yvonne Bullard again on Wednesday, May 1st at 2 p.m. at the Lee County Enrichment Center. And if most of you probably know, that's on 3rd Street pretty close to Hunter Boulevard. So please, Rotarians, if you can, come on out May 1st at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday. And we had announced this award last week, but not all the details of when and where and all that stuff.
It's a luncheon meeting.
Is it a luncheon meeting?
There might be a charge.
At 2 p.m.?
It is, it's a 2 to 4.
Ah,
But it's a
okay.
luncheon meeting.
Is it? Okay. Thank you for letting me know. I
Maybe,
didn't know
maybe
that.
not, maybe not.
Yep. Another program note, we're not going to be here next Thursday. We do take the third Thursday off, and we try to do things in the community. We have a standing order at CUOC, and we had CUOC here last week to do backpack pails. So you saw the video. If you want to go to CUOC 1 week from today, Thursday at 8:30 in the morning, we assemble meals for backpack pails, which sends foods home to kids in the school system. They are in every single school in Lee County. And it provides food on Fridays for those that have been identified that might not have food at home or are underserved with food in their home. So that's next Thursday at 8:30 a.m.
John, we only had 6 last
Yeah, we were
week.
kind of thin last week.
Yeah, can we have a show of hands of who can be there next Thursday?
I don't know.
You know, ideally we need 8 to 9, 8, 9, or 10. We don't need, but more than 6 would be
Yeah,
good. And I think we got it already.
That's good.
So, excellent.
I'll be at the beach.
So Larry volunteered us.
Good timing. He will make sure y'all
I know,
do
that's
that.
right. All right. Any other announcements before we start our program today? Robert, you got a lot to write about today, don't you? Robert's got the program. All right. Our program today, you're going to hear about the Sanford Block Party, and we've already welcomed as our guest Miss Karen Kennedy. Karen is the Community Development Manager for the City of Sanford, and she and I, this is our 9th year doing the Sanford Block Party. So, Karen, you want to start off? And I'll be assisting with this because her and I are partners in crime. Don't trip over the myriad things as you walk up here. There's a lot of audio-visual stuff here. So please, a warm welcome for Karen Kennedy. Okay, so
What a fun Rotary.
we try to be fun, yeah. We try to have a good time.
John and I are on the circuit right now. And
Yes, we are.
We've done a lot in the last 2 weeks and 2 weeks to go of different civic clubs, presentations,
Yep.
radio, our big TV channels coming up.
Live at 9.
Live at 9, which is really an 8.
Geraldine? Did you laugh as much as the other stops that you had?
I didn't, not yet. Today's been fun. Thank you for having me. Every year we try to get ready for the block party. As John said, we've been doing this. This will be year number 9. Who would have thought, Chad, Bill, when we started this, that this would have turned into the 9th year. The program originally started when Mayor Olive was our mayor, and she wanted to love on the community. And we got churches involved, and we started on Charlotte Avenue. And so we are now on year 9. John's going to tell you about the places we've been. The whole intent was to help community to know that they are appreciated. It might be a neighborhood or a corridor that just needs a little appearance improvements. We get to know them. We send church groups out. They minister to them if they so choose. They also will invite them to church. But the most important part is the neighborhood fellowship with the residents on the street. And we do only exterior improvements. And what started with, say, 40 of us now has 200 people on the street on a Saturday. We've kind of niched ourselves to be the last Saturday in April. So I hope that you will participate with us. I've got some flyers. How many of you in here have participated? Thank you. It's a great day. Thank you.
Yep.
And we hope you'll do it again. And then we're really looking forward to next year being our 10th year. We're going to really hoop that one up. I don't know where we're going, but it's hard for an event to last for 10 years, especially something like this. So we're very excited about that. John's going to give you all the details.
Yep.
Anything?
Yeah, no, thank you, Karen. And we're going to tag team this presentation, but as Karen had mentioned, we started on in 2011 on Charlotte Avenue. That was a corridor that it was highlighted that maybe we could improve on, and it was more blighted. And we went 1 block up to McKeever Street the next year, and the local realtor group, you, Rotarians, local insurance group, local churches have all been partners with us in putting this on. The 3rd year was on Maple Avenue. I like to brag on Karen because Karen, among the many, many things she does for the city of Sanford, she's a grant writer, and she secured in excess of $900,000 in a community development block grant while on Maple Avenue, which included, pardon me, a pocket park and sidewalks that were installed the same year that we were doing a beautification project and exterior.
Was that the one that Ken Armstrong, the fellow Rotary, and I hit the gas pipe with the trimmer?
That was the same one. The same one, yeah.
That was my first one. Yeah.
I forgot about that, Jan.
So now we call 811 before we have another.
Now we call no cuts to make sure we don't hit a utility when we're putting plantings in the ground. We decided to leave East Sanford because we wanted to spread the love around. We went to Hawkins Avenue. Then 14 and 15, you'll see we went to Steel Street. Then in 16, we came down here to Woodland Avenue in conjunction with John Taylor of the Sanford Rotary Club and his church, which is Presbyterian Church in Jonesboro. We did the area around Floyd Night, and that was a fantastic event. And then last year, in anticipation, appropriately, for Patrick giving us an update around W.B. Wicker, last year we focused on the neighborhood around W.B. Wicker for what should be obvious reasons. We knew that the school board was going to enhance the former high school and turn it into a community elementary STEAM school. Science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. Got that right? So it's been a fantastic event. So this year, we're moving on, and Mayor Mann and his wife Missy and his family have been integral to this. It was started by Mayor Olive, but it's true that Mayor Mann now is very involved in this. And I know that this is small, and you don't have to read all of it, but there's a lot of planning that goes in is involved in this. And so you're going to see the various parcels right here, and you're going to see color-coded for owner-occupant, tenant-occupied, non-owner-occupant, vacant lot, city-owned. We decided to focus around the Temple Ballpark this year, and we did that because Mayor Chet Mann is trying to incentivize private industry for reinvesting in that area. And it's actually working, but we want to pretty up the area while we are seeking grants and or private monies and investments to come into an area which has been neglected. And actually, I didn't talk about it. We gave this presentation at Sanford Rotary on Tuesday, but our own poor Karen lost her softball career on that field. That was her, she used to play a lot of softball. She didn't know I was going to say this. And she took one in the cheek, a softball, and she's fine now. But she likes to say, like, I played my last softball game there. This is an order of events, and with the flyer that you have, again, 2/3, 3/4 of you have been to this event, so I know that it's a known entity with you. Some of the newer folks don't know. We feed you a lot of food. Show up at 8 o'clock, we're going to give you breakfast. We have 20 dozen donuts coming from Sandra's Donuts. We have coffee from Starbucks. We have biscuits coming from Wingers. At lunch,
Orange juice from Trinity.
Orange juice, yep, from Trinity United Methodist. And we have the taco truck coming from San Felipe, coming for lunch. I put servant leadership up here. This is not necessarily patronizing, but it's true. Hale Hegler and Mayor Mann are there every year. I like bragging on them, and they've earned it, and your city attorney, Susan, is in the background there. This was last year, and I guess I could take pot shots at them because they're not perspiring and he's leaning on a rake. But no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
And we put them beside one of the colorful houses in the neighborhood that has a lot of activities. Jack, the police.
A lot of drug activity. No, it was a well-known drug house, honestly. She's right. This was Woodland Avenue, and you may recognize a couple of these. Janice is no longer in the club with us. She has resigned. But obviously Yvonne and Larry, and who was climbing up the ladder? I forgot.
Oh, that was David Morris.
Was that is David right there? Is that David in the back of David's head? I see the salt and pepper. That looks like David. No, so he's the only one working.
Larry's not holding.
The other ones are standing around. Yeah.
I was teaching Janice.
Larry's telling us what to do.
Yes, it is.
There's Mr. J. That was also on Woodland Avenue.
That's why they put me up there.
That's right. Oscar, I know it's kind of small, but you'll see Oscar Hernandez on the left right there in the blue shirt. This was last year. Oscar came out in force with El Refugio last year. They brought about 30 kids, and man, they just knocked it out. They just kept going and going and going. Oscar's been very valuable to us because in the neighborhoods we're in, you may have 50-60% Hispanic-speaking folks, residents of the neighborhood, whether owner-occupant or tenant-occupied. So he's been fantastic with us. He's also on our planning board. There's, got to brag about the taco truck every single year. Karen makes the ask for this, and they say, yeah, sure, we'll do that this year. They give out free food to an upwards of 200 people. They're like, yeah, we want to be a part of that. She doesn't have to convince them that it's a good thing. It's volunteerism and goodwill at work right there. So again, what can you do? Just show up. We're going to feed you. It's fantastic fellowship. Bring some work gloves. If you got a rake or a shovel, please bring that. Yes, Yvonne?
Be sure and tell them where they're going to have breakfast at the church.
We're going to have breakfast at Trinity United Methodist, and Trinity, and I'm sorry that it's actually not, there's not a map in front of you.
523 Maple.
Thank you, 523 Maple. So do you all know where Temple Ball Field is?
No.
And I think 95% of us do, and I know maybe Debbie from Florida would know. That's okay that Debbie doesn't know that, but it's basically behind the ball field. There's a brick church behind that at the intersection of Maple and Bragg Streets. That's where we're going to do the send-off. That's where we're going to do the announcements and the food and pray and get everyone their assignments and get them going. So for more questions and information, there's Karen's information. That is also on your flyer right here. Oops, one too far. And that's just the flyer that's in front of you. But
So let's talk about the fact that that day is completely done by volunteers and donations.
Yep.
We get contributions that go to the
Excuse me.
event from different churches and businesses. The city puts in some mulch and compost and obviously staff time for people, but we are taking donations and contributions from churches, and we have several citizens that give every year, also give water, give snacks. McNeil Paint's instrumental with paint. It's a long list of people who just are on the list.
And some of it is in-kind donations. And what I'm getting at is they give us their goods and foods at cost, which means they're not making a profit, certainly. Yeah, Terry?
Oh, yeah, let them know I'll be
Terry's
there.
giving me this, but I don't know American Sign Language. But
Yeah, let them know I'll be there with my camera, so.
you be there with the camera. Thank you, Terry. Karen doesn't know this, but the board of directors met before this meeting, and we had decided, because we've done this in the past, that Jonesboro Rotary will be contributing. So, and I have the check. Sometimes we have the fake checks and we just pretend like it's real. But I've got a real check. I don't know. I think it's going to clear. Is that right? Jim's the one that wrote
Don't
it.
cash it today.
So awesome. Thank you very much. That's very
Anybody have any questions? Yeah, Yvonne, anyone have any questions?
Be sure and tell them if they bring their own equipment, their own rakes and so forth.
Please do. We should have, enough materials and all that stuff. This is, and Karen should kick me whenever I say this, but this event is in overdrive. I know, I'm jinxing us. We have fantastic volunteers, and we have the wonderful problem as organizers of, oh my gosh, we've got more people than we need to keep them busy because we need to keep them active and motivated. So we coordinate and we shuffle folks from here to over there, and we keep them going until lunch hits. And we want to make sure that we get all of the work done before everyone leaves, because if all the work's not done, Karen and John know that we're there until 4 or 5 p.m. just trying to bust it so we can, get it all done and not have a homeowner say, how come you didn't finish my porch? But that's not happened in the last couple of years. We've been very good with coordinating. But you know what we didn't tell Karen? We get consent forms signed every year from the owners of the property. We also get verbal consent from the residents in case of a tenant-occupied property. We had, as of our planning meeting yesterday, 22 or 3, yeah, 23 I thought it was, yeah. So we have about 22, 23 houses that we're going to be doing. And again, it's not hard work. It's not that laborious. It's mostly yard work and exterior stuff and all that. But we have fantastic opportunities to meet and fellowship with someone.
There'll be kids' activities in the ballpark that the Sanford Church
Sanford Church of God is going to be doing that. Yep.
is providing.
Yep. So, and my kids, I didn't tell you, but my kids were in a couple of those pictures, but kids can do stuff too. We're not going to give them a chainsaw or anything like that. But they can help distribute food and grab a ladder and all that kind of stuff.
And pray for sunshine.
Most houses we did in one day?
We had one.
Didn't we do like one was like 60 or something crazy like that?
40-ish.
Was
We
that
did 11
Woodland Ave? Or steel, that wasn't steel. But we've gotten smarter, we think, and Chad's been a part of this. Chad knows the thing, and Chad's helped us organize this before. But McKeever was a long road. So was we sometimes had done like 7 blocks, and 7 blocks is a long way for organizers to truck up and down and back again. When someone says we need more mulch at 512, and it takes 10 minutes to walk down here, to miss the guy that is bringing the mulch up there and then walk back and say, I'm sorry, we're out, or something like that. So we got smarter. So I think we got it better.
pre-dig poles on Friday. We try to deliver mulch so that when people show up, you just start working. Now this year's project is spread out this way instead of one long street. We got 3 streets.
That's right.
There's police at every intersection. Fire department will be there doing smoke detector inspections. EMS
Health
will be
department will be
there
there.
if nothing happens. You all are praying for sunshine. We have this event rain.
So last thing I'll tell you is David Nestor certainly is a Sanford Rotarian. He was at the meeting on Tuesday, and David and I have been friends for a long time. He came up to me after the meeting and said, thanks, John, you do a great job as always. I said, thanks, David, that's great. What he said was, John, you know, I've gone back and looked at the neighborhoods years after this has been done, and I think each neighborhood has seen reinvestment. And so I quickly agreed with him. I just finished the presentation. I was a little bit, had too much going on. I was like, yeah, you're right, David, thanks. And then I slowed down. I was like, wait a minute. McKeever, Charlotte, Maple, Hawkins, Woodland, Steel. You're right. I'm serious. As a real estate person, I can tell you that new investment has gone into the neighborhoods that we have been in. And we're doing cosmetic beautification. And we're doing some railings and some painting and all that stuff. I have seen homes sell for higher in those neighborhoods. This is not about me. I'm not trying to put my ego into this, but I'm glad David told me that because he was right. I was like, my gosh, you're right. Well, that's what Mayor Olive, who set this up 9 years ago, wanted to happen. It's called Keeping Up with the Joneses. So this is an effort to raise everybody up and help everyone with not only equities in their home, but also a sense of community and having people get to know each other a little bit better. So it's a good project. So if you can come out, please. It is the last Saturday in April, 2 weeks from this Saturday. It's the 27th, 8 a.m. And hearing nothing. Thank you, Karen, for coming. All right, folks. What we're going to do now is we're going to do the raffle.
All right.
And Chad, what do you got?
We have 56 green dollars and 10 All right, the last 4 are 5162.
5162.
Jeremy,
Jeremy, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. All right, Mr. Jim Miller, pots of gold. Oh, before Jim stands up, and Jim will tell you this, we are 710 tickets in. We sold, what, 895 or 800 last year?
We went 810 last
810.
year, 900 the year before.
So what I'm saying, folks, is not just for Jim to promote this and say, come on, guys, let's go. For those of you that have sold your tickets, thank you. For those of you that still have tickets to sell or haven't turned them in, please try harder. We have a separate budget as of about 2 or 3 years ago. It's called our charitable budget that's separate from our operating funds. And this is where our monies go to among like what we just gifted to the block party. And this is what we pay to our community to contribute when the community is in need. So sell those tickets. Jim?
Karen, could I ask?
Come on up, Karen. We need you to draw a ticket.
Please.
Slow.
Pick out-
I've been
pick out
told
the
to do you to go slow, whatever that means.
They all say the same.
Right around.
It's like winter, winter chicken dinner.
Grab one out of there.
And the winner is Bill Murphy,
Oh, Bill Murphy. Who sold it?
sold by Howard Bucko.
Howard Buckham, good. Very good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Karen. All right, so Jeremy was the winner. So again, we're not meeting next week for lunch, but we are meeting at COC, 8:30 a.m. And Jeremy, if you can lead us in the four-way test and the pledge of allegiance.
Four-way test are the things we think, say, or do. First.
Is the truth, is fair to all concerned, will build goodwill and better friendships, will be beneficial to all concerned. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.